Esophageal cancer is the sixth leading cause of cancer deaths worldwide, according to Mayo Clinic. But a new treatment at Sparrow Hospital is helping to reduce that risk by stopping those cancer cells from ever forming in patients at the highest risk for developing them. Fox 47 News anchor Sarah Swistak has the details in tonight's Swiss Strong report.
How many pieces is my one hole broken into?
It's a lesson this third-grade teacher will never forget.
A reality check.
That heartburn causes cancer.
And that really was the kind of eye-opening moment for me.
Chris Terranova had been dealing with severe acid reflux for nearly a decade, but like many others, he self-medicated.
You know, you're kind of invincible in your 20s and you just kind of go with it.
But Terranova's acid reflux was so frequent and so severe, it was actually gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD.
Which is basically a flow of acid from the stomach to the esophagus.
While 40% of Americans will develop GERD in their lifetime, if left untreated, the consequences can be deadly.
I had some damage in my esophagus from the acid reflux, and they determined that I had Barrett's esophagus.
Barrett's esophagus is basically changes in the lining of the esophagus into a different lining. And the significance of that is that this lining has a potential to change into cancer.
The risk of Barrett's esophagus changing into cancer is usually low, but if precancerous cells are detected, it can go as high as 40%. But a new treatment offered only at Sparrow, called radiofrequency ablation, is helping to reduce that risk.
We pass that catheter into the esophagus to the abnormal tissue
and essentially burn off the Barrett cells and are creating scar tissue there to replace that lining in the esophagus.
He says one of the biggest perks is the recovery time, just 18 to 20 hours, and then he's right back to where he loves to be, in his classroom.
I love these kids.
Boys and girls.
The personalities that they have. I love being in the classroom.
The procedure is 10 to 15 minutes. It's performed under anesthesia and can eradicate up to 90% of abnormal Barrett cells.
Once we succeed into ablating Barrett esophagus, we reduce that risk of esophageal cancer significantly.
A solution
What fraction is left?
this teacher can get behind.
You know, it sounds scary, but it's better than the alternative. It's definitely better than the alternative.
Reporting in Lansing, Sarah Swistak, Fox 47 News.
Dr. Al-Sawas is quick to note the procedure is not considered a cure. Patients still need to return for surveillance endoscopies to monitor the Barrett cells and their spread. If after 8 weeks they find more cells, the procedure is repeated. For most patients, it takes 2 to 3 appointments. Terranova is on his 4th.